And we used to have meetings up there in Tabligh sessions up in Lewisburg. And the brothers that I learned from was from 52nd Street, 52nd and Hazel up in Philly. Because they told me when I left, in Tabligh, they told me, listen, man, you go back out there on the street, don't be in that street. So go right on up there with the brothers and keep up your deen, keep your deen going, because you go out, you know, you just won't get caught up. And so that's what I did. But I had Tabligh Jabbar through the mayor. He took Shahad over in the mayor. For real. When I came home, him and his whole family was gone. And they was walking around and people was laughing at them. People was laughing and talking about, brothers with them dresses on, because they had on camise. And I said, they're cool. They make these sisters wear these hot clothes in the summertime, hair all clothed up, these long dresses and stuff like that. They had a lot of fun. But we used to Tabligh, we used to pass out literature in Tabligh, the dark literature, over in Atlantic City. And the people who used to laugh, they started asking us, we started telling them the difference between what we were about and what Elijah Muhammad's thing was about, because that's what everybody was into, Elijah Muhammad. So, you know, they started, we had Tabligh so many of them so much that they used to start Tabligh and Elijah Muhammad say, y'all ain't the real Muslims, them Muslims that. They used to say that all the time. That's what they would tell us. So y'all ain't the real. I remember LeCab from around there. He used to come. I seen him come through there in one of them FOI suits like that. He used to come through. They was already him and Kaleem Shabazz and them guys used to come through there. I knew what they was scouting. They haven't said nothing too much. But like Raouf and them knew him. Raouf and them, they knew him and stuff. And they had been familiar with that stuff. And they used to come through just to see what that's the first time I seen Columbus. He came through with one of them FII things on. And at that time, we used to keep that place open 24 hours. There was somebody on the desk 24 hours around there. And
this was Indiana Avenue.
Yeah. And they started telling people, y'all ain't, because they didn't want, I don't think nobody wanted, well, a lot of people, I shouldn't say, a lot of people didn't want to get down with the Elijah Muhammad thing. Probably they didn't want to get down with anything. But when we came and we were saying something in the verse of what they were saying, that was their excuse. Then they had something to challenge them with. Because before that, they didn't have nothing else to talk about other than what the FOI people were saying. So when we start passing out literature and telling them the difference, then when they would come to them, they said, no man, it ain't about this, it's about this here. They was Tabligh your book. Some of them sisters would come around take shahada with us because they knew that we were defending. And we had to go out. We went out and whipped some butts on a few occasions for real, you know, because some of them sisters were just trying to get away from some of them brothers, and they knew that they was getting protection. So one time, Lindbergh, she took a shahada, and then Raouf, he came through there because they was living right next to that big apartment house right next to where we was. Then they had a parking lot for the Lincoln, and then they had a big apartment building, 2 or 3 stores over there, stories, and he come over and he trying to pull in and said, man, you can't touch that sister. He said, what? He said, you can't touch it. Say she gotta say she's Muslim now. He said, man, that's my wife. What you niggas talking about? He said, you know, like that. He said, what you niggas talking about, man? He said, that's my wife. He said, Raouf, that's him something to say, because I was getting ready cracking. And then Raouf, she knew him. And he said, look, man, he said, this is the deal, man. So you want to be with her, you're going to have to get married. You have to
become Muslim and married.
And married, yeah. So we told him that. He mad. He said, man, y'all, he went there, he came back, he had a butter knife in the back of my hair. He had a little with a butter knife.
He wasn't serious.
He said, man, y'all niggas ain't tell me about my wife, not kids. So I'm telling you, Rashid told him, said, listen, man, you don't want to do that. So all of them guys lot of them guys became some of the first Muslims that took Shahada as Sunni Muslims, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we had a thing when we used to have the ride, when we used to run, we used to train. We used to run down Arctic Avenue from Indiana all the way down to the inlet and back, and we used to train with fatigues and army boots and everything.
What train them how? What type of training?
Army training. Physical
Okay,
training.
physical combat, martial arts, and all that kind of
Yeah, called RAD because it's a surah in right called Surah Al-Rad and mean thunder
Okay.
in the Quran and.
But it wasn't just us, because the brothers in Philly and New
Yes, they
York,
did.
all of the movement that was all around,
Yeah.
they do the
So I
same.
have-
They had the same program. It was the same shape for that.
Oh, I thought y'all do that. Like that workouts.
Well, I don't remember how many days, but it was regular. It was going once or twice a week.
I know they had me
You know,
time.
stuff. Yeah.
I was heavy. I was
It was
real
like a
heavy.
parade.
I was
Up
heavy.
and down, all the down, and people would come out and walk, both sides out together, and watching us running up and down, training, we march and everything, you know, the cadence and stuff. And,
Oh, drilling and stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So everyone,
You ever meet Sheikh Yahya Kareem?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Alhamdulillah, he was a really wonderful brother.
He was
Wonderful brother.
Man, you talking about a good orator? He
Yeah.
speech.
Yeah. He's wonderful.
Man, you be all hyped up.
Yeah, he gets you hot.
He gets you hyped.
Yeah. So I know one time, Imam Amin at some because he had affiliation. Well, I don't say affiliated, but he had knowledge of the Dar because he was an Ansar.
Yeah.
He said that they used to clash and stuff.
All right.
And he told me one time, just since I've been coming in, maybe a year or so ago, something like, yeah, y'all was in that Wahhabi stuff. I said, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I really don't know what you had to explain that to me, what it was. I said, I don't know what you're talking about, but not far as I know, it wasn't about no Wahhabi stuff, you know. But yeah, it was, to me it was good. And it was a lot of the stuff that he's teaching now from the pulpit right now, it was because of knowledge from the dawn, the things that we learned from the classes and stuff, that I was able to know what he was talking about. Because in my opinion, if you understand the basics of the law, everything stems from La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. When you understand that in its totality, and you accept that in Hakeem, everything that you learn from then on
Falls into place.
it comes right into place.
Fall into place.
And when you hear somebody speaking, just like when you know the core of what that is, and you know it with certainty, and you can hear people talk, and you know when something crashes with that, when no, that's not consistent, based on those basics, you know. And I've heard people that I'm sure they have from then and even now that they are more, if you educated, if you will, about different subjects in Islam. But whatever they're talking about, if it's not consistent, there should always be something. If you understand that basic, you should always be able to relate to that somehow. You know, because just like when something is wrong, is not consistent with the basics, La ilaha illallah, the kalima, and you know it right off the bat. You don't have to hear a lot of it. If you have that basic knowledge, you don't have to hear a lot of it. No, that's all. And you can call on several things from here and here to let you know that that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I've heard people speak and say things, but when they don't clash, when you have that understanding and they don't clash, it's not clashing with any of the things that you really know Allah has allowed you to know, especially in here, then you can go with that, you know. But that's the reason why I say that, you know, I had never had one inkling about the thing with Elijah Muhammad talk, because I always went right off the bat. I said, that's black nationalism. That's not religion. The very thing that was about was the reason why, even as a kid, I remember being sent to Sunday school, 5, 6 years old, on a regular basis, and asking questions about this Trinity thing, and who is God. What you say he was the son of God, or he's God, this, that, and the other. It never entered here. By Allah's grace, it never entered here. And the reason why I could never really be a full participant in Christianity was because I never accepted that. And I asked people about it. I asked my parents. I asked the so-called teachers in the church and stuff about it. And none of them could really give me a satisfactory answer about who God really was and make it stick in here. And that's not to say that I didn't believe in God. I just didn't know who God was, but I knew who he wasn't. By Allah's grace, I knew who he wasn't even as a kid. When you start telling me that that's him on that wall on that picture frame and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff what they was talking about, and they started talking about that Muhammad thing and stuff like that, that joint never, I just walked away from it.
That stuff.
But that stuff, again, you know, it's not to say that I didn't believe in God, because I'm going to tell you, when the brothers tried to bleep me up there in Lewisburg, and it was the first time I had ever heard anything about Sunni Islam, I knew in 24 hours I was going to take a shahada. I know maybe it was less. The first thing I seen when I got there was a brother making salat. When I arrived, and they put you in what they call A&O, arrival and orientation, where you went in a big dorm with a lot of people, and you had to stay there for 60 days, and till you was issued, everybody was issued like a job, everybody had to work, you issue your clothes, and whatever it is you had to do. And then after that period was up, then they put you out in population. Either you went to a cell block or dormitory. But you had to go through that, and you had to understand what all the functions was in that institution before they put you out in the population. And when I went in there, and I was spaced out, I think the first one I seen when I went through the door was Abraham Talley. and I went there, I thought I was gonna have to fight him because of some stuff that happened on the street. But you know, he came up to me and you know, he said, nah. He said, anyway, he invited me to the Islam, to Elijah Muhammad.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, listen man, I'm just trying to get situated. I said, you know, maybe I'll come to some of your meetings sometime, but right now I'm just trying to get situated. And you know, and that's how that started. But when I went up there, I seen his brother. It was about maybe at least 60 people in there. We had top and bottom bunks and stuff like that. And I had this top bunk, and I looked around, and I'm spaced out now. This first time in the joint, right? In a real joint. So I see this brother down here in Spanish, Puerto Rican brother. He got a turban on, you know what I mean? Homemade. He had one of them wool army blankets. He had cut like a salat rug out, and he was in prostration. He was on that joint. He had made him a kameez, this kind of stuff they was wearing, the khakis and stuff like that. And they had made some. He was making salat, man. That's the first time I seen salat. And then when he got finished, you know, I'm looking around, I'm looking at him, and I look over at this big Italian guy. He's sitting over there, you know, and
he's observing.
He's observing too. He's observing me, right? Because he had been there, and he looked at me and said, every day. And I'm like, he said, all right, Tom.
Whoa.
Tom. He's telling me
that.
He said everything. So he gets done, and he's making his dua, And then he's on the bunk down, I'm up top, and he's down here. So he grabs his big green book. Yusuf Ali, and he's reading this, and I'm looking, and I see this, all this scribble, man. There's all these symbols over there. So I asked him, I looked at him one time, and I asked him, I said, well, what's that, what religion is this you practice? So he told me, he said, it's Orthodox Islam. I asked him about the book, he said, no, it's the Holy Quran. He wouldn't give me no more than what I asked him. When I asked him. And then I asked him, after asking 2 or 3 questions, he told me, he gave me a piece of literature. He said, look, we have discussions, 2-3 times a week over at this cell block. And he said, if you want to come through, he said, you can come through. I knew I wasn't, when I looked at the literature and I looked at the book and stuff like that, it was just something that just grabbed that way, you know. And so when I got back out, when we went back out like to eat and stuff, and I told him, you know Landy, right?
Yeah, I know Landy Holly.
Yeah, so she.
I'm talking about the son, but you're talking about the father. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the father. So he told me he hooked up. He wants to go down here with his dorm where they making his hooch and stuff like that. He was so I said, man, I ain't going. I said, I'm going down there to check out this meeting and stuff. He looked at me. He said, what you gonna do? He said, what you talking about? You gonna be a Muslim? I said, I think so. He said, man, everybody go to jail become a Muslim. He said, we should go. He said, yeah.
And this was on the street. This was your people.
Yeah, me and him got busted together.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they got busted together. We went in there together, man. And he told me, he said, man, he knew he was gonna lose somebody to just hang out with, and people was buying this hooch. They was making it out of grapefruits and oranges and all this stuff and ferment and stuff. And then on the weekend they was selling it for packs of cigarettes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I said, man, I ain't trying.
Yeah.
You go in that joint where he was at, it's called F-Dorm, and it was like going in Sodom and Gomorrah or something up in that joint. I said, man, I ain't trying to, you know, and that joint was just like really kind of like being on the street, because if you got in the street and you want to go on cop or something, like, you know where you got to go to do that, or then you go over there, well, they having Bible study over here. You know, now you got the Muslims over there, you got the Christians over there. You had people there called Ahmed Dan, they was in there. So there was, everybody had their area, and wherever you wanted, whatever you was about, you could go and, you know, be with that joint. You know, but I did, after a couple of days, I took shahada on that. And then, like I said, I used to communicate with Jabbar, and he was tabliging people from the street. And when we came home, we got that little place he was talking about down there on Decatur Avenue. And we used to sell dinners and stuff like that.
So you had Friday Juma.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Who was in your mom?
Jabbar. Jabbar. So.
You remember the literature package y'all used to give out? You remember what it was?
It was with the basics, with the you know.
Like the fundamentals?
Yeah, the fundamentals and stuff like that, yeah. But then we was reading stuff like what they be talking about, like Imam Ghazali, all his stuff, his books and stuff like that. We was well aware of that stuff and talking about Ma'rifatullah. We used to have classes. We used to go and we had to study, and we was tested on that stuff. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. A lot of the stuff with Imam Amin was saying was really, you know, I knew what he was talking about based on those things, based on the stuff that later on was shouts out. And he was talking about in the books that he wrote and stuff like that. All of that stuff we was familiar with. And I used
Even
to look
to Saul?
Yeah. All of that stuff we were familiar with. And, you know, it's just, I used to see stuff when I first started going to last year, Muhammad, I looked around, he was saying some stuff, and I said, wow, because I to be honest with you, I didn't think that based on what little I knew about Elijah Muhammad's followers, that they really knew about the real religion. I didn't think that. That's my honest. I didn't think that. I said they talking about black nationalism. That's what I'm not saying that to be offensive to anybody, but that's what I understood it to be.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And so I said no. You know, that didn't appeal to somebody that was looking for spirituality. You know, somebody's talking about really understanding who is God and what is your relationship or your obligation to God. I don't think that you could have found it there. I couldn't find it there, you know, and just based on the principles and stuff.
Let me ask you something. All right, y'all was around when the Daruul Islam transition over to the Fuqaha, right?
Yeah, that didn't come until Shawsab.
That was what? What year was it?
Was
About
that
1983, 1983.
It was a little before that. It was a little before
82,
that.
81, 1981. I know.
Because we was up in Trenton.
Trenton, because
Yeah, we made a hijra.
Yeah.
In fact, we made a couple hijras based on what Shawsab was saying.
This was initially?
When we left Indiana Avenue, we went to Trenton.
Right.
And that was a hijra. We packed up families and went up there.
Yeah.
And started. And we started tablighin it up there. And from then, we went to California.
You went to California from Trenton, or you went to New York and then California?
I drove from Trenton
To
to California.
Who was hosting y'all when y'all was in California? Y'all just packed up and left?
We packed up and left.
what part of
Russia.
Cali we in?
Huh?
What part of Cali?
I first went to La Quinta, Southern California. La Quinta is right next to Palm Desert.
Mm-hmm.
And Palm Desert is right next to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And we went there, and that was like a corny job. Everybody there thought they was going to be a movie star and everything. We couldn't really get anything. So then we moved to Oakland. We left there, and we went to Oakland. And
Where did y'all pick dates?
in
La Quinta.
La Quinta.
That's when you first got there, that's what you stuff.
You go there, man.
pick 'em off the
Pick 'em
ground.
off the ground and stuff like that. I'm saying, going from the Jolly Jones, you can get from
Big
You can
Jones.
get out there. You can just go and pick up
So basically, y'all went right to the jewel.
Why should
'Cause-
y'all just transition over to Shawsab? Why ain't, like, it wasn't like this thing?
because he elevated. He took what Yahya Abdul-Hakeem, what he was saying, and he elevated it. He really put some more in-depth knowledge about Allah and responsibility to Allah. And he's Sufi, really. And he had a higher learning. And he was actually putting icing on the cake. You know, for the people in the dark. He was actually putting icing on the cake.
I just only want to say, I remember one thing that Sheikh Yahya said. He said, we are making a transition.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we are making a transition.
Yeah.
And he said, we were like caterpillars and we just transformed into a butterfly.
Yeah.
I said, whoa. I mean, because Shawsab brought that.
Yeah.
Oh man, he brought it.
Yeah.
And then Shawsab just changed the whole dynamics of it. He was like, we gonna start doing this.
Yeah.
Because I
And
remember
he started encouraging people to learn, or he was demanding that people learn. People were being punished for, if you had your own free will, if you didn't want to really do the thing to its fullest, if you weren't willing to apply yourself, you had to leave. But if you intended to stay within that people, within that community, and you wasn't doing what was right, you would get your butt whipped. You would get your ass whipped. You would get stripes. That's right. If you fornicated, if you got caught drinking, if you caught doing anything that was against Sunnah,
You got Tazirat.
You got your butt.
What you call it?
It's called Tazirat.
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 Flogging.
Okay.
You got
I got that a few
That was
times.
and the people accepted it.
You got it in the computer?
I got it a few times.
And people accepted it because they didn't want to walk away from it. Once you started learning and you had the correct understanding, you knew that it was in accord. You knew that it wasn't. Didn't nobody just come and beat you just for the heck of it.
Yeah, you had to earn
Just
that.
to flex their muscles because they had some kind of position of authority over you. You know, everything that was presented to you was based on Quran and Sunnah. It wasn't about egos and stuff like that. So a lot of people, when they did wrong and they were approached by it and they had to be punished, they got punished, they took it, and they got back on track. You know, they got back on track because they know it wasn't about, even though you might have got your butt whipped, it wasn't about the individuals that did that. It was their job to do that. According to Sunnah, you have to remember, said, don't be moved by your emotions till you can't apply punishment that is proper. If they deserve so much strike, then you got to give it to them.
And that was the lesson of Sharia law. You know what I'm saying? Because in the full effect of Sharia law, it was more than that.
Yeah.